My hotel room had a locked door I shouldn't open. The key felt heavier than it should have. I don't mean physically. It was a simple brass thing, cheap and slightly tarnished, but in my hand, it felt like it carried weight, like it was holding the hotel itself in its grip. Maybe it was just my exhaustion talking. I had been traveling for nearly 12 hours straight, juggling flights, trains, and an ungodly amount of luggage. And when I finally saw the sign for the Stanton Inn, I thought I'd found paradise. From the outside, it looked harmless enough, a standard mid-tier hotel, beige and unassuming, with dim lights flickering sporadically along the facade. I shrugged off the flickers. Old buildings have old wiring, right? That's what I told myself as I dragged my suitcase across the cracked pavement and pushed open the revolving door. The lobby was quiet, not the pleasant, calming quiet of a hotel at night where everyone is asleep in their rooms, but the kind of quiet that makes your skin crawl, like the whole place was holding its breath. There was a receptionist behind the desk, a woman who didn't look up from her screen as I approached. Her hair was tied back tightly, her face neutral to the point of coldness, and there was something about the way she moved, slow, deliberate, almost mechanical, that set me on edge. "Hi, I have a reservation, names," I started, and she cut me off. "Room 407, key." She pushed a single brass key across the counter without looking up. No smile, no welcome, nothing. Just key. I blinked. Thanks." She finally glanced at me for a brief moment, and it wasn't a welcoming glance. It was assessing, almost predatory, like she was measuring whether I belonged here, or whether I would survive. Shaking off the weird vibe, I took the key and headed for the elevator. The air smelled faintly of mildew and cleaning chemicals, a combination I've since learned to associate with old hotels that are hiding something. The elevator ride was unnerving. The walls were mirrored but distorted, like a funhouse mirror, stretching my reflection in weird, unnatural ways. I kept looking away, telling myself it was fatigue messing with me. When the doors opened to the fourth floor, the hallway was empty, save for a single flickering light halfway down the corridor. The carpet had a pattern that made my eyes feel like they were shifting as I walked, and every step I took echoed unnaturally loud. Room 407, the key turned in the lock with a harsh click that made my stomach drop. I opened the door, half expecting something to jump out at me, but the room was normal. A standard hotel room. Bed, desk, small dresser, TV mounted crookedly on the wall. Nothing out of the ordinary. I exhaled, relief washing over me. Maybe I was just being paranoid. Then I noticed the door. At first, I thought it was a closet, but it was different from the other doors. No knob, just a simple round lock embedded into the wood, slightly tarnished like the key I held in my hand. There was no label, no sign, nothing to indicate what it was for. I tried the handle, locked. I frowned. "That's weird," I muttered. The key didn't fit. I jiggled it, tried the knob in every way, but nothing worked. I shrugged it off, blaming the hotel staff for poor maintenance, and decided to unpack. The first few hours were uneventful, and I started to convince myself that the locked door was just a forgotten storage closet. But then the noises started. At first, it was subtle, a faint creak, like the sound of someone shuffling just behind that door. I paused, trying to rationalize it. Maybe the building was old, settling. But then I heard it again, a soft scratching, like fingernails dragging lightly across wood. My stomach tightened. I stared at the door. The scratching stopped. I tried to laugh it off. "It's fine," I told myself. Old building, settling. Full story link below.